All right, let's talk about stock charts. Today, we're going to completely demystify one of the most essential tools in finance. And by the time we're done here, you're not just going to see a bunch of lines and bars. You're going to see a story. So, let's jump right in. Have you ever pulled up a stock chart and just your eyes glaze over? It looks like a foreign language, right? Just a mess of random green and red bars. Well, what if I told you that every single one of those bars is actually telling a story? A really dramatic one, in fact. A story about a fierce battle between buyers and sellers that's happening every single second. And here's our game plan for how we're going to learn this new language. First, we'll cover the market's secret language itself. Then, we're going to get our hands dirty and dissect one of those price bars. You know, its anatomy. After that, we'll figure out what the colors mean. Then, we'll learn how to read the shadows. That's where the real secret clues are. And finally, we'll put it all together so you can see how these candlesticks really do tell a story. Okay, first up, the market's secret language. And right off the bat, I want you to make a little mindset shift. We're not doing heavy, complicated math here, okay? Think of this as less like math and way more like learning a new alphabet. Seriously. And this right here, this idea says it all. Each candlestick is a word, and together they form a sentence telling you a story. I love that. That is exactly what we're doing today. We're not crunching numbers. We are learning to be translators for the story the market is telling us. So, if every candle is a word, let's figure out how to spell it, right? That brings us to the anatomy of a price bar. And here's the best part. Every single candlestick, no matter how weird it looks, big, small, green, red, is built from the exact same 4 pieces of information. Just 4. So, what is a candlestick? It's really just a visual snapshot of what the price did over a certain amount of time. Could be a minute, could be an hour, could be a whole day. But no matter what, it's always showing you those same 4 key things: the open price, the high price, the low price, and the close price. Okay, let's actually build one of these things right now. First up, you have the open. Think of it like the starting gun in a race. It's the very first price a stock was traded for when that time period began. Simple as that. And then you've got the close. That's the finish line, the very last price it traded at before time ran out. Now, pay attention here because the relationship between the open and the close, well, that's pretty much the most important part of this whole story. But of course, between the open and the close, the price doesn't just move in a straight line, does it? It bounces all over the place. So we have the high. This shows us the absolute tippy-top price it hit during that period. You can think of it as the moment buyers were feeling the most optimistic. And on the flip side, you've got the low. That's the absolute bottom, the lowest point the price reached. You could say that's when the sellers were at their strongest. And that's it. That's the whole recipe. Open, high, low, and close. Every single candle you'll ever see is made of just those 4 ingredients. Okay, so we have our 4 ingredients. Now let's see what happens when we mix them together. This brings us to the story of color, because just a simple glance at whether a candle is green or red tells you instantly who won the fight for that session. It's beautifully simple. Look, if the price closed higher than where it started, the body of that candle is going to be green. We call that bullish. It means the buyers won. The price went up. But if the price closed lower than where it started, the body is red. That's bearish. The sellers won that round. So just the color, green or red, gives you the headline news right away. But that main colored part of the candle, that's just the headline. The real drama, the juicy details of the story, that happens in the shadows. So now we're going to learn how to read those shadows and uncover the full, unseen battle that took place between the open and the close. You see those thin little lines sticking out from the top and bottom of the candle's body? Those are called wicks, or shadows, and their job is to tell you the rest of the story. They stretch all the way out to show you the absolute high and the absolute low for that period, the full range of the fight. And the length of these wicks? Oh man, that tells you so much. If you see a long wick sticking out the top, it means buyers tried to push the price way up, but the sellers were strong and slammed it back down. Now, a long wick on the bottom, that's the opposite story. Sellers tried to crash the price, but buyers jumped in and said, "No way," and pushed it right back up. See long wicks on both ends? Total chaos. A huge fight with no clear winner. And what if there are no wicks at all, or just tiny little ones? That, my friends, is a knockout punch. One side was in complete and total control. Okay, Let's take a step back. We've learned the alphabet, we've learned how to spell the words, now it's time to read the full story. We're going to put all of this together and see how these candlesticks really do tell us what's going on. So, how do you actually start reading? It's easier than you think. Just look for patterns. Do you see a whole bunch of green candles in a row, each one closing a little higher? That's the market telling you there's an uptrend. Buyers are feeling good. See a bunch of red candles, one after another? That's a downtrend. Sellers are in charge. These groups of candles, these patterns, they are literally the plot of the market story, unfolding right before your eyes. So, what's the big takeaway here? It's this. You've just learned the alphabet of the market's language. You now know that that intimidating chart isn't just a random bunch of lines. It's a language, and each one of those candles is a word. And when you string them together, they form sentences. They tell a story. It's not a puzzle anymore. It's a book, just waiting to be read. So now that you know the language, what stories are you going to find?